Hello everyone, welcome to today's video. I hope you're all having a wonderful day today. So I've had to redo this video because the one I posted earlier got deleted. I'm not sure why, I'm not sure what happened, but here I am doing it all over again. So today's video is going to be about my fragrances that I used to dislike, I used to really hate in the past, and they've become fragrances that I absolutely love today. So let's get started right away. I'm going to start with Samsara by Guerlain. This one is gorgeous, guys. It's a beautiful fragrance, but I never used to like it. I never used to feel the way I do today about it today. So this one was introduced to me by a friend in the early 2000s, I believe. I think it was 2003. He couldn't stop talking about this fragrance and how much he loved it on his wife and that every woman should wear it and blah, blah, blah. So me being me, I went out and I searched for it, and they didn't have a tester, so I blind purchased it. And I came back home and I tried it and I really didn't like it. I did not like what I smelt. I thought it was just something really odd and unusual, like I'd never smelled anything like it before. At that time, I used to wear very sweet, fruity, floral type of fragrances. I was in my early 20s, so I wasn't used to this type of scent. And Samsara is a very erotic, exotic kind of a sandalwood heavy fragrance. It's very strong, very womanly, and I just wasn't used to it, and I just didn't like it. But over the years I did wear it, and it actually became a signature scent of mine, and I absolutely adore it. I love the vintage version most. I love, love, love it today. So this is one that I never used to like. Another fragrance that I never used to like, and it just did not work for me at the time, was Fancy Nights by Jessica Simpson. This one, I had purchased a Fancy and I thought it was going to be a nice flanker, a similar flanker to Fancy, and it was not. It was completely different fragrance. It smelled nothing like the original, and as soon as I smelt it, I was really put off. I just did not like it whatsoever. To me, it just reminded me of a synthetic Christmas tree. I'm not sure why. I don't know if I'm associating the colors with a Christmas tree, but I don't know. I just, that plasticky kind of greenery plastic tree thing, I don't know. I just happened to find it very similar to a Christmas tree, and I just didn't like that scent whatsoever. Fast forwarding, few years have gone past, and I smelt it again, and everything changed. I can smell different notes in there now. I can smell amber, patchouli. The patchouli is strong on my skin, and I can detect certain notes that I never ever used to. So I started liking this one quite a lot, and it's one that I always want to have in my collection. The next fragrance is the Dolce & Gabbana. This is the original PERFUMES fragrance with the red cap. Most people know it as the red cap one. This fragrance, I remember I received it as a gift when I turned 20 for my birthday. It was from an ex of mine, and he loved this fragrance and he gifted it to me for my birthday, and I was shocked. I was literally shocked when I first smelt it, because that's how much I really, really didn't like it. To me, it just smelled really like it just pierced through my nose, you know, like it just, I wasn't prepared for the smell, because I was used to those fruity florals. I wasn't used to anything like this fragrance. I've never smelled anything like it, even up until today. This one is an aldehydic, very strong aldehydes, aldehydic floral with vanilla. And I'd never smelled anything like it before, and I was 20 years old. So can you imagine? I was like in shock when I received it as a gift, and I thought, no, this is not me. This is just not me. I imagined like a very mature lady wearing this, very sophisticated, mature lady, but it just wasn't me at the time, and I just didn't like it at all. I did wear it. I wore it a lot, actually, because he liked it, and when we broke up, I just stopped wearing it, and I just didn't want to smell it ever again. But up until like recently, I missed it. I just missed the scent, you know? And because when you wear something for so long, you do want to smell it again. Even if it is associated with like bad memories or something like that, it's just a thing that you want to smell again. And I wanted to just smell it again. So I bought a bottle and I ended up loving it. I ended up absolutely loving it. I bought a vintage bottle, which is this one, and I love the smell. I never used to like aldehydic scents, but now I do. I like Chanel No. 5 now. I like Dolce & Gabbana, this one. So my nose has changed quite a bit, and I started loving this one, and I've since purchased so many bottles of it. I love it so much. It still does smell sophisticated and mature. It's not a modern fragrance, but I love it. Okay, the next fragrance is by Thierry Mugler. This is the Angel. Okay, this one, I know a lot of people who love it, and I know a lot of people who don't like it at all. And I was one of those people who never used to like it. When it first came out, everybody smelt of Angel. Everyone. And I was very young at the time, and I just didn't know what the smell was, but as soon as I smelt it, I knew that it was that type of scent. I didn't know what it was called back then, but I knew that that's the smell that I don't like. And every time someone went past, you know, I had to just turn around and hold my nose. That's how much I really didn't like it. I just found it very unusual and very odd. And now I understand it's a very unique scent that came out at a time where, you know, nothing else smelled like it at all. So it was a very unique fragrance. And I only purchased a bottle because I started collecting fragrance, and I thought, you know, I had to have it in my collection. It's an iconic fragrance, so it has to be in my collection. And I bought it, and I never wore it. And then one day I did spray it on. I can't remember why. I had to smell it or something, and I sprayed it on, and I remember my husband loving it on me, and he was like, "What are you wearing? That smells so good." And I was like, "Really?" And he's like, "Yeah, I love it." So I ended up wearing it a few times after that, and then I noticed that it really worked well with my skin chemistry, so it really suited me. And I really started to like it on my skin, especially in summer. Which I never would have imagined me wearing it at all, or even in summer, you know, because it's such a strong fragrance. But I only do one spray of it, and that is what I like. If I do more, then it will give me a headache, and then I remember that smell that I never used to like. But I do love this one now. So yeah, I have fallen in love with it, but only one spray. Okay, the next fragrance is this one. This is Avon Aromadisiac. Now this one I bought because it was on sale. They had a promotion going on. It was like buy one and then get one for cheaper or something like that. So I ended up buying this one for me, and I bought a bottle for my brother, the men's version of this one, as a gift. And we both really didn't like the men's version at all, and so I was hesitant to try this one, and I was thinking, oh gosh, please, you know, let me like this women's version. So when I did try it, I did not like it. I remember thinking, this was way back, this was in 2010, and I remember thinking, like, what is this? Like, I'm not used to this type of smell. All I got from this one was licorice and vanilla, and back then I never used to like vanilla. It was vanilla heavy with that licorice, and just a certain smell to it that was kind of a little bit too much of something, like too much of peppery notes or something. It was just too full on for me back then, and I did not appreciate it at all. I didn't like it, and I just kept it in my collection. I never used it up until recently, where I was I think I was trying to get rid of some fragrances, and I needed to smell them before I let go of them, and I tried it and I loved it. I love this one so much today. I fully understand what it's all about. I think it was a fragrance that was ahead of its time. It smells niche to me, like it could be a niche fragrance. If I didn't know what this fragrance was and I sprayed it, I would definitely think it's a niche fragrance. It's very peppery, ambery. It's got jasmine and vanilla. It's very warm and inviting. It's really good. Another fragrance that I just didn't appreciate back then was this beautiful one here. This is Insolence by Guerlain. This is the Eau de Parfum. This one I blind purchased because of the bottle. I love the bottle so much, and I just blind purchased it. And I thought, I read the notes, and I remember thinking, oh, it's just an iris and a violet kind of a scent. You know, I definitely would like it. Why wouldn't I? But when I tried it, when I received it and tried it, I just didn't like it at all. It was not for me. It had this particular kind of a musky tone to it that I didn't like. I didn't like at all. And I can't remember what the note was, but I do just remember that. It's just got this weird note that it didn't agree with me. And I just left it. Then I tried hard to sell it off or swap it off, and it just didn't happen. And then I thought, you know what, I'm just going to keep it for the bottle. The bottle's pretty. I'm just going to keep it for the bottle. And I did. And then, you know, I happened to try it again, and my sense of smell has definitely changed because I love it. On me now, it smells like sugary, sweet, candied violet and iris. It's so super, super pretty, long-lasting fragrance. Absolutely adore it today, and I'm so glad that I did not end up giving it away. Oh my gosh, I would have just had to buy it all over again, or I wouldn't even have known that I would have liked it. So yeah, I'm happy about that. Okay, the next fragrance is this one. This is by 4160 Tuesdays, and it's the Dark Heart of Old Havana. Okay, so this one I had a sample of. So I sampled it and I tried it, and I think I sprayed 3 sprays, and it was just way too much. It was overwhelming for me, and I just really, really, really disliked it. I could not stand this fragrance when I first tried it. And I thought, no, there must be something wrong, because I looked at the reviews and that, and it had really good reviews, and judging from the notes, I should love it. But I didn't. It was just too much of everything for me. It was like, it was too suffocating for me, you know? It was too strong, too many notes going on, too much sweetness. It was just a full-on fragrance for me, and I just didn't get it. And it was quite long-lasting as well, so it kind of stuck on my clothes. So the next day I smelt it on my clothes, and I loved it. And I was trying to remember what I sprayed on, and it was this one. So I retried it. I sprayed it on again from the sample, and you know what? I loved it. I don't know. Within days, I changed my mind, and I purchased a full bottle. And I've known a few people that have done the same thing with this fragrance in particular. When they first tried it, they didn't like it, and then they tried it again and they fell absolutely in love with it. I don't know why. It's just this fragrance. I'm not sure why. Anyway, the next fragrance is this one. This is the Kiko Macheri. This is a very popular one, actually. It's the L'Homme by Kiko Macheri. This fragrance is quite heavy on the powder and rose, like Turkish Delight rose. Very, very sweet, very animalic. I don't know about the newer versions, but my bottle is an old bottle. It's a vintage formula, and it's very animalic. So imagine animalic, dirty, very, very, very sweet, very powdery, and rose. So you can imagine when I first tried it on, I was like choking. It was like a choking fragrance for me, you know? It was like someone suffocating me with a pillow. It just felt like that because I didn't like rose. I didn't like rose at all. And this is rose heavy, and it's powdery heavy, and it's animalic heavy. So it's all those notes combined together, and it just makes it one hell of a fragrance. It's so strong, and just, yeah, very, very intoxicating. And I didn't wear it for a long time, and I would read reviews. Oh my gosh, I love this scent. Oh my gosh, you know, and then I'm like, I'll try it again. I don't know, things might have happened for me to, you know, start liking it. So I did try it again and again and again until I started appreciating rose scented products. When I started liking rose, I started loving this fragrance. That's when I fully appreciated it, and I thought, you know, this is actually very beautiful, only if sprayed lightly. So yeah, I have to have a light hand with that one because it's very strong. And one spray I found worked for me. That's when I like it, is when I spray once. So that was that one. I've got two more to go. The next one is Horizon by Oriza L. Legrand. Now, what can I tell you about this fragrance? Oh my gosh. I used to have a sample pack of this, all the fragrances from this house, and I never used to like them. I really couldn't stand this house. And now I have the majority of their fragrances. Can you believe it, guys? My nose has changed so much. This is one of my favorite houses today. It never used to be. So Horizon is one that I really didn't like really, really didn't like. To me, it smelled like old things, old books, the old attic, the old furnishings, old everything. And I just couldn't understand this fragrance. I used to think that it was just, I don't know, it was just made for specific audience, or, you know, it's definitely not one for everybody. But I just didn't appreciate it. I didn't know what it was on about. You know, when I first tried it, I thought it was just the most odd fragrance that I'd ever smelt in my entire life. So, long story short, I ended up buying a few bottles from this company after a few years. I'd forgotten that I didn't like them. I had actually forgotten about that. And I thought, you know, I found them for a good price. So I bought them, but bought them not knowing that I didn't like them, right? And then when I received them, I ended up loving them. And then I went through my notes, because I've got notes where I write down some notes on perfumes that I tried, and I went back and I saw that I really couldn't stand this one, and I was like, what? But I remembered why now, because of that attic smell. It smells like old furnishings, and old attic, dusty, old, raw, kind of weird, odd scent. And that's why I love it today. Can you believe it? That's the reason why I love it today. It's because of that ancient smell. It's just gorgeous. And I love smelling this one from the bottle. On most days, I open my cupboard and I just open it up and smell it. I just inhale, and it takes me places. This fragrance is the one that takes me places. I don't know. I just really love it today. And I am glad that I actually bought it without remembering how much I didn't like it. Okay, the final fragrance here is one that most people love. I never used to like this fragrance. I've owned it many times, many bottles. I've given so many bottles away because of everyone loving it on me. I used to wear it, but I never used to like it. And every time I'd wear it, people would be like, oh my gosh, you smell so good. What is it? Like, they would obsess over the smell. So I ended up giving bottles of it to my brothers, to my sisters, to my friends. They love this scent, and it is Intense Cafe by Montal. Wow, guys, this one just never used to work for me, ever. It was too rosy. It was too much. And this was a few years back when I never really liked rose perfumes. And this is a rosy perfume. You have to like roses to like this fragrance. It's got a coffee note in there, but I don't really smell it. It's not a coffee scent. It's more of a rosy, sweet rose scent and vanilla. And they were the notes that didn't really work for me. But now they do. So I'm totally in love with this fragrance. I wore it the other day and I'm just like, whoa, you know what? Everyone was right. This is a fantastic fragrance. I love it so much. So yeah, things change, guys. Things change. Never say never, and always give it a second and third and fourth wearing. That sample that you have, don't just test it once and say, oh, it's not nice. Try it again and again, because I'm telling you, your nose changes. Things that smell a certain way could smell differently, you know, in a few years' time. It's just like that. It's so weird and strange, but this is how we are. I really hope you've enjoyed this video, guys. Has this happened to you? Please let me know. Let me know which ones that you, fragrances that you never used to like and now you absolutely love. I'd love to know. Thanks so much again, guys. I will catch you next time. Bye.